What's going on, man? We're July 30th, 39th, 31st, I believe. We're on the final day of the year, man. Final day of the month. Yeah. So, how you doing? Today's a Shin Megami Day. Today we're talking Shin Megami 4. We're talking Digital Devil Saga. We're talking Devil Survivor. We're talking fucking He-Ho 5000. We're talking the shebang, okay? So, that's it. Can I just say that I love rice cakes, these little rice guys? They're so fucking good. Today's flavor of rice is chocolate. I gotta really say, I'm liking rice. I had fried rice earlier. It's pretty good. I just think rice complements chicken very well. And since I hate vegetables, well, I don't hate vegetables. I don't like vegetables. I don't seek vegetables out as a food on a regular basis, I guess is the best way to say it. That's the best way to eat vegetables, is to put them in there with chicken and with rice and a bunch of spices, and it's really good. Cook it because cold shit isn't good. I like it. That being said, let's start talking some business. Alright, so let's start with Digital Devil Saga, because I beat that recently compared to Shin Megami 4, which was a week or two ago. So, Digital Devil Saga is a game from the year 2005. It's not bad. It's frustrating. It's challenging. It's fun. It's Digital Devil Saga. So, for those unfamiliar with the Shin Megami series, I guess this is the best way to throw you in there. So what is Shin Megami's series, I guess? I'll talk about some like cornerstone, like trademark shit that is always in Shin Megami games. Generally, you go through a world where demons exist, and you usually gather demons, or you team up with demons, or something. Usually there's demons involved, and you go into combat with your demons. Demons level up, demons get spells, demons get different attributes and stuff like that. Usually your main character can level up your stats, like strength, agility, magic, or endurance, the basic RPG stats, but usually that's how you build your character. Usually in a Shin Megami game you build your character up, and then, like for example, I played this game, I just maxed out all of my strength and my vitality, so I had a lot of HP and I had a lot of physical attack damage. And I just this game actually offers you a lot more freedom, to be fair. And also, this isn't like another... Most Shin Megami games, like I mentioned, usually you capture demons or you talk to demons to get them into your party, something like that. This game, you actually are the demons. It's still a JRPG, a turn-based RPG, but it's a little different than the other games. So pretty much, what's gameplay like? So, you're like a group of guys, and early in the game you get the ability to turn into a demon. And now these demons that you play have to eat, they have to devour enemies. So the main idea of the game is you go into combat, you win fights, you get experience, and then you get Atma. Atma levels up your job, essentially. So like, there's maybe 15 to 20 different grids, I guess you would say, like lines on this grid. So you basically have, like, the first 3 are melee type moves, then the next 6 are like fire magic, electric magic, the elemental magics. Then you have like stat magic, stat buff magics, stat debuff magic, stat like reviving and stuff like that. And it's sort of like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy, or the Crystarium from 13. You basically obtain Atma from devouring your enemies, or just killing your enemies, and you basically, once you obtain this Atma, it levels up that job that you're in. Once you've finished leveling up that job, you get the moves that are in that job. So like, let's say you were leveling up your level 3 fucking fire grid. Basically, then you would unlock, Agilao, fire burst, and fire resistance, stuff like that. You unlock the moves that you were just trying to obtain, and your character can then use them from now on. So you basically come to a point where the game's you have 3 people in your party. You get to the point where you're just like, okay, so I want to build a main character like this. I want to build this guy with like recovery magic and stuff like that. I want to build this other character with more like status-inducing spells and stuff like that. So I think that was really cool. I've played a lot of Shin Megami games where your AI partners are just kind of level up and do the average thing. Usually you've got one guy who's more recovery based, one guy who's more offense based. So I really like that department in this game. I love RPGs when they offer you freedom like that. I guess the best way to say it. Exploration in the world and everything is pretty generic. It's you know, behind the character, over the shoulder view, I guess you'd say, third person. And you basically have like you have a map screen, and then you have like maybe I want to say like 4 to 10 locations on this map. And you basically go to those areas, and they're dungeons, and you explore them, get loot, you run around. It's very standard JRPG dungeon roaming, I guess you'd say. But gameplay-wise, it gets really frustrating at some points. You may have to level up a lot. Shin Megami games are known for being, I guess, elemental, like, aware. You have to not necessarily know the enemy's weakness, but it helps out sometimes way too much. This is a game where you cannot beat the game in one try on your first try, unless you severely like over-leveled or something. Usually you have to look at a guide, or you have to, you know, trial and error, die once or twice, and you'll know. I think I probably died at least 10 times. I want to say around that. Good game though, gameplay-wise. I had a lot of fun with it. So gameplay, I'd give it a 1 out of 1. I liked it. Sound department, let's say we're giving this bad boy, it deserves a 1 out of 1 also. Now, don't look at me like I'm giving this thing like perfect score already. No. It's just the music's good. Music was good, the voice acting was good, the sound effects are good. Classic Shin Megami. Now, story, I guess, story and world. I don't want to just say a 1 out of 1, because there's some things. Okay, this is a duology. Okay, so you have, this is Volume 1, and then there's Digital Velvet Saga 2, so that's Volume 2. It's hard to give a game a perfect score, well, at least a 1 out of 1 in this department when it's not finished in the first volume. You know what I'm saying? Crazy coworker staring at me. But yeah, basically, okay, we're traveling now. Coworker caught wind of me Frazzlog and had it moved. So story-wise, I don't want to give this game a complete 1 out of 1, but I will say what is there is pretty good. It's so hard to, because to me, like, the perfect story is a game where it makes you feel something and stuff like that. This game had like the atmosphere, and it had like the, I guess, the intrigue, but the characters and stuff like that didn't really jump out at me, so I can't give it a 1 out of 1. I'll give it a half. I'll give it a 0.5. I don't want to spoil too much of the story because there's a lot of shit that I still don't even understand, but what I played was pretty good. Basically, you wake up in this place called the Junkyard. You're in a war, and basically your guys are gunning down these other enemy tribes, as they call them, and basically what we get is everyone gets infected with this thing. All of a sudden you can summon these demons. There's like this tribal meeting between all the tribe leaders and this giant angel statue who says, basically, whoever wins this war, the last like standing tribe will ascend to Nirvana. Now this is like a very apocalyptic looking world. Clearly something is amidst the world, because there's no children, there's no old people, there's no animals, there's just nothing really going on in this world. Like, where's the food sources? Where's the I don't know, just, it's an empty world. Who's building these buildings? Were these buildings already here? You know, something's going on in this story, and for the most part we get some answers, but we get more questions, I guess is the best way to say it. Yeah. So Digital Devil Saga gets a nice 2.5 out of 3. It is pretty good. It's not bad. I'd say above average in terms of overall gameplay. About 30 hours to beat, not bad. That being said, I don't have enough time to talk about Shin Megami 4. I'm tired. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm tired. My eyes really wide right now. I don't know. By the way, I got my license. It's pretty cool. Alright. Goodbye.